Welcome to another episode of Gate City Chronicles. I'm Senator Kevin Avard, and I happen to be the host of this show since 2010. And wow, where did time go? The show is designed for you here in Nashua and for Nashua proper, anybody that's around. And maybe you have a nonprofit or a business that you'd like to show up, or you have a concern about your local government. Is it working for you? Do you feel like you're not being heard? Do you feel like people are shouting you down? It's for you. And hopefully as a host, I give you that opportunity to get off what you need to say. So today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the assessing and what's going on in Nashua. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you, if you like the shows, please hit the like button and share or subscribe. It helps with our algorithm, and it helps other people get a little bit, a chance to see what's going on and view. It gets into their network, if you will. And with that, Mr. Doucette, I want to invite you to the show, and here you came, and you're a former Marine, and you live here in Nashua all your life.
Yep.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So the topic is the assessing. What's going on with the assessing? People are quitting. What's going on?
They had in one day 4 people resign.
From?
The assessing office.
In Nashua?
Yes.
How does that happen?
I have no idea. I know there's like things before this at all probably snowballed. Mm-hmm. I've been seeing different things about what people say.
Yeah.
So it's hearsay. But I think there's some wrongdoings, and they didn't want to be part of it, and they decided we're out.
Do you know who was on that board?
No, I don't.
On the assessing board at all?
No.
No, it is alarming when 4 individuals do leave, and probably in a bipartisan way as well.
Yeah.
When you say wrongdoing, I know that Lori Ortolano has been engaged heavily in trying to make the city of Nashua accountable, but it just seems as though they just keep going on without any good answers. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I noticed you have a pad here with some numbers and whatnot. And what's your take on what are you feeling about what's going on?
I think they had a meeting, the aldermen had a meeting, and they were asking about why $4.5 million, that's with an M, dollars go missing.
From where?
No one's saying where. They said it was an ESSER fund that was supposed to be written, but got spent before it got written. And my point of view is that they don't want to investigate where $4.5 million went.
Well, has somebody asked for a right to know?
People have been asking, even other aldermen were saying that this should be investigated, and 4 of them said investigate. The other 11 said no.
Really?
And then for assessing, it has to go through the assessing office because it's all numbers and everything else. And I think someone in the assessing office found that money missing and, probably got harassed about it or...
Who are the 11 that said no?
Let's see.
There must be a list. Was there a roll call?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can tell you the 4 that want the investigation was John Sullivan of Ward 9, Ernest Jetty,
okay,
Mr. Tebow, and Mr. Thibodeau all wanted to investigate. The all other said no.
That's interesting.
And then on that same night, when they were talking about it, they decided that they want to do a pay raise. They haven't had a pay raise in 20 years or so.
Who?
The aldermen.
Oh, so they want to make themselves a pay raise?
Yes.
Shouldn't that be on the ballot or something?
That's what I'm thinking too. But they want to make this effective July 1st.
And so they're going to vote.
Middle of the fiscal year, let's give ourselves a pay raise.
How much?
The aldermen right now make $5,000 a year. And they want to give themselves a pay raise of $4,000. So they're going from $5,000 to $9,000.
Is that a full-time job?
From what they're saying, it is. It's like a 20, they spend 20, 30 hours a week going through paperwork and stuff.
So do I.
And
I'm a senator.
and I
I get $100.
I mean, I figured it out. I went through like on the city's website and looked at like how many people are on each board and everything else. And like the aldermen, there's 15 people on the aldermen. So you give 15 people $9,000. It comes out to $135,000. Adding on to the city's budget. You know,
Midstream. Like
and
you said.
like I did like what they were getting now, and it's like 75,000 right now for 15 of them. The Board of Education has 36,000 between the 9 of them. Public Works, there's 6 people there. That's $12,000, and it goes down the line. And I added it all up, and it's $145,520 to run the board. And now you're adding, if you do the same thing with after their pay raises, it comes up to $261,800.
You know, I don't know if this is, they're not part of, they're not in the pension system, are they?
I'm not sure on that either.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
And I mean, I've been talking with people with, because I know people on the Board of Education, because at first Alderman Dowd was like, well, the money just disappeared.
Who said that?
Alderman Dowd.
Okay.
And Mr. Sullivan asked him, he says, well, what do you mean it just disappeared? And he goes, well, I didn't say disappeared. And he says, yeah, you did. And then he changed it to, well, the unknowns happen.
Okay.
You know, it's not making sense.
That's talking like a politician.
Oh, exactly. And then
I'm a politician, so
then after that, they blame the Board of Education for it.
Interesting.
And the Board of Education's like, really? We don't have $4.5 million.
That's interesting.
And that's, like I said, and then going through everything, that's, you know, it has to go through this process, that process. They can't transfer money. And maybe you should know that they have to, if you want to transfer money from one place to another, you have to have a meeting on it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah,
And
there's got to be a paper trail of something.
And there's no paper trail. Like they've asked Mr. Donovan, I think it is, Dan Donovan,
Yep.
for receipts. He hasn't shown any
What's
receipts.
the mayor say?
Well, the mayor is following whatever the aldermen want.
So how did you get engaged in this conversation in the beginning? What drew your attention? What started to spark your interest in what's going on in the local government like this?
When COVID came out,
Yeah.
I started going to like the Board of Education meetings.
Okay.
And then I decided let's see what else is going on.
You have children in the schools?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a daughter in high school and a son in junior high.
Okay.
And
we still call it junior high. They call it middle school. Yeah.
And I was just like, it's just, they're always asking for money. We need money for this. Like the Brian McCarthy school.
Yep.
$120 million and we can build you a brand new school. Not even 2 months after starting construction, we need another $8 million. And then after that, more money. It's like, wait a minute, you gave us a price.
Yeah.
How can we keep having to give
Aren't
you
the
more?
contractors bonded out?
I believe so, because they were talking about, we have to pay the contractors. And so I'm like, okay, but they gave you a price.
Yeah, how does it change? I mean, what cost of materials? Well, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the specs, you agreed to them. It's the taxpayers are. I'm one of them here in Nashua, so we haven't seen them go down.
No, you've seen them only go up.
Right. So that got you interested in this whole conversation.
Yep.
And so once you start paying attention, your questions start to arise, and then your eyebrows start to go, well, wait a minute. And then you ask questions, and then you get shut down.
Yep.
That seems to be the process of Nashua.
And that's what it is I guess other news places have tried to reach out to 4 people that resigned.
Mm-hmm.
They're not talking. The new Nashua Ink Link, they talked to Mr. Cummings. Yeah.
Who's Mr. Cummings?
He's the administrative, He's in charge of administrative services for Nashua. And he covers IT department, risk management, human resources, the city GIS maps, building maintenance, and purchasing.
Has the Attorney General been notified of what's going on here?
I don't think so, and that's why I figured I'd come out and see how many other people I can draw in, you know, and get people to start asking questions. Because even like with Lori Ortano, you know, it just keeps getting pushed back, and somebody has to answer for this.
Right.
You know.
Oh, it's not just this topic while she's on. She's asking.
Oh yeah, she's the right to know and everything else, and that's where that could fall into. People want to know where the money went. Nobody wants to talk about it. And I mean, this is like Mr. Cummings himself, you know, is he was asked just recently about it, and he just no, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, how is that possible? I mean, how can that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. He doesn't want to say, well,
Mr. Dowd is my alderman, and I really don't appreciate that answer that he gave. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I was watching the Board of Aldermen meeting, and that's when they talked about it, and he was like, oh, well, you know, but he played it off like it was, you know, it happens, you know.
Hey, it's not his money.
Exactly, but they had to write a new ESSER fund for the $4.5 million, plus another $4 million on top of that. Because
what is an ESSER fund?
It stands for Elementary Secondary School Relief Fund.
Okay.
And that's how they get the money to build schools and maintenance and everything else. And they said they had to write another ESSER fund for that $4.5 million, plus another $4 million to fix roofs on a couple of schools, at $2 million each.
But they don't know where the other $4 million.
But they don't know where the $4.5 million went. So that puts you, me, every citizen of Nashua having to pay for this.
So who's your alderman?
My alderman is Tim Sonot.
And did you contact your alderman?
I haven't yet. I'm going to get on his.
Yep.
I've just been very busy trying to get all my information first before I talk to somebody.
Yep. And
that way I can have it. Because I told him, I says, if I find something wrong, I says, I will be coming to you. And he goes, good, that's what I want. And like a couple of people I know on the Board of Education, they're the same way.
Yeah.
I told myself,
there's some good people here. There are some good people that want to play by the rules, and but we want to make sure that they're transparent too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what everybody's been asking, and they're not getting that transparency.
Yeah, and all that does is it creates suspicion, it creates hard feelings, and then once you get the hard feelings, then you start to speak up, then they call you a bad guy because, well, you know, wow, you're an angry person. Well, doggone it, you haven't been forthright with me. So it's very problematic when they treat you like this.
Yeah.
So you said you grew up in Nashua?
Yes.
Yeah. What schools did you go to?
I went to Fairgrounds Elementary.
Oh.
Then I went to Elm Street Junior High.
Yep.
And then Nashua High South. You
went to Hazard. Okay. I went to Spring Street, actually Temple Street, Spring Street, and then Elm Street for a little while. And then I went to a Christian school in Litchfield. But you're around the same age.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm a little older, but that's all right. A couple years older.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't seem to hear about this type of stuff way back when, right?
Yeah, we wouldn't hear about it. And I mean, like the first time when the mayor ran, I thought he did a great job because I knew some of the stuff that he was doing was good. And then now it just seems like he's just...
Yeah, well, I think if the information doesn't come out, all it does, it creates suspicion, even if nothing's happening. And so it's incumbent upon them to be a little bit more open with the people, with whatever's going on. Maybe there's a simple explanation for this, but you know, when you drag your feet like that, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on?
And I mean, like right now, the only alderman that's trying to keep transparency is Ward 9, John Sullivan.
John Sullivan, yeah.
He's having a...
he's the tall one, right?
Yeah. He's doing another like town hall meeting.
Okay.
You know, and he says, even if you don't live in Ward 9, come on in, you know.
Yeah. I wonder how this is going to affect the local taxes. You know, they haven't gone down.
No, they haven't.
Yeah. So what else is going on? Anything?
I mean,
This is just a really...
the biggest one, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, but the other thing is like the whole, the other was whether they want to build that new on top of the tannery.
Yeah.
I think that maybe they should offer Newport Construction that property.
Who wanted the paving company?
Yes, that wants to put the asphalt plant in.
Yeah, I believe they're the ones who they supported the mayor in his election, but then all of a sudden-
Yes,
that's going to be a problem.
One of the highest paying ones to donate to his cause.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that though? If it was zoned for that and then it got approved, and then all of a sudden you pull the rug out from under them, that puts Nashua in a very precarious position because now Newport can sue.
Yeah.
Now, local taxpayers said no.
Yeah.
They don't want it. But if it was zoned for that, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Because now you have...
Well, now they overlap the zoning, and that's where he falls in that overlap.
what, they changed it midstream?
I think just in years as the
They
years
want a
have gone
development
by.
there now, don't they?
Yeah, they want to put a...
Housing.
Yes, because they're doing the old Henry Hangar into condominiums. And then I guess, you know, and then they
Henry
were...
Hanger, yeah. Yep.
Yep. And I mean, that's right down the street from it. So they wanted to do that. And, you know, they're just talking about the extra amount of traffic that's going to be going through there. Kids are out. I mean, that whole area is just full of kids.
So isn't that the site of a super fun cleanup, though? Wasn't there a...
The tannery, yes.
Yeah. So there's another $3 or $4 million that needs to be applied to that. So they need to apply for a grant. But here's the issue that some of the senators are saying. Wait a minute. They want $3 or $4 million to finish the Superfund cleanup at the tannery, but they got $30 to $40 million for an arts center that the citizens of Nashua are paying rent on. And there are 3 LLCs, 2 nonprofit, 1 for-profit, with the same people in charge of it.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I noticed in, like with the Aldermen and stuff. They run...
The board is...
They're in different boards also. Like Michael O'Brien, former fire chief in Nashua.
I think he's a
great
rep,
guy.
isn't he?
Yep, he's a state rep. He's a great guy. But Board of Aldermen, he's also on the Fire Commissioner Board. He's also on the Public Works Board. Those are 3 that got pay raises also. So he just gave himself 3 pay raises. You know? So, I mean, it's money's going somewhere and getting spent like it's just water, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we in the Senate, we get $100. Plus mileage, but...
Yeah. I knew State Rep Tom Lanzara.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
firefighter. No,
yep.
I think he got promoted.
Lieutenant? Yep.
Yeah. Are you still a firefighter?
No.
No?
I was. When I moved back to Nashua, I was out.
Yeah.
I was up living in upstate New York
Okay.
when I became a firefighter.
Yeah.
And it was a time when 9/11 happened.
Oh, yeah.
So I did. I went down there for 2 weeks and dug through that fun stuff.
Yeah, no, that's... we just voted to pass something for pre-screening for you guys, you know, because I guess you wear the cancer suits, right? That's what they say, that the material that you wear to protect yourself from the fires actually can have health risks involved with that. So we voted to make sure that you folks could at least get the pre-screening, because the pre-screening basically helps you early detection.
Yeah.
You know, it's a number of issues that we're trying to help out with the firefighters and give them a break. But yeah, Tom's been, I think he was a state rep at one point. And,
Yep,
yeah.
2 terms.
2 terms, yeah. He's a very good guy, very family. I think he volunteers in...
Hollis.
Yep. Yeah.
Hollis
Very active.
and Cub Scouts.
Yes, that's right.
So, like I said, I
Public service.
I've worked in a garage for most of my life. And
Yeah.
that's how I got to know people.
Yeah.
That's how I met Tom. I also did the Salvation Army Emergency Disaster Service. I was on that for
Oh, wow.
from 1989 to 2012.
Yeah. So are you still a mechanic? Do you still do that?
No, I had to retire, basically. I damaged my foot. I slipped and I tore a tendon in my foot, and then I waited too long to get it fixed.
Yeah. Well, my mechanic here in Nashua is John Moran. I don't know if you know John.
Yep, I've known John too for a few years.
He's kind of he knows an automobile inside and out. It's kind of makes you sick. Oh yeah, you need this little thingy, and then he grew up just doing cars. But they built race cars. I think he races too.
Yeah,
yeah,
because you drive by the place and you can see in the background.
Yeah. West Hollis Street. So if you need a good mechanic, I would highly recommend him.
When that was Russo Oil, I used to work there.
Russo Oil, yeah. Oh wow. Well, I used to live on Harbor Ave years ago, way back when. But I love this town, and we wanted to see it run in. We want everybody to be taken care of, and just everything on the up and up. But sometimes, when these things are getting delayed, or you're getting some pushback because you speak up, it's not healthy for the city. No. And I mean, and if you're not on the in group, if you're not in the elite, then you don't, you're not.
You don't matter.
Yeah, and that's not the way this township.
Yeah, and I mean, I usually find myself very outspoken, and usually I'm the one that drops the F-bomb all the time. But it's like it's something wrong. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So
because I'm sure, like, if it happened in the Senate, you'd want to know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think they should right now at this point stop all construction that they're doing. I mean, I know it's a big pain in the butt, but let's find out where this money went.
$4 million is $4 million.
Yeah.
It's and then you couple that with the pay raise that they're asking for themselves for doing such an amazing job. Hello.
Yeah. And then they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. That can foster hard feelings, but hopefully we can get to the end of this. So I noticed there was a thread on Facebook, and somebody put me on the thread. That's how I heard about this as well, and that's why I wanted to invite you on this show. I know there's other people that said, "Yeah, I'd love to come on and talk about it." Is that for everybody in the public? What was the name of that thread?
National Alliance for Change.
Okay.
And
not Democrat, not Republican, just for change.
Yep, for change.
Yeah.
It's like I run a Facebook page called Gate City Politics Uncensored.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm on there, and, you can talk about anything you want on there. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like when we started doing the mayor race, I invited the mayor on the page. I invited Mike Soucy on the page, Mark Gallant, and Mark was always interacting with people trying to get it, and that's fine. Yeah,
it's for everybody, and that's let the debates begin, and let the best rise to the top.
All I looked for was just no real threats or name calling and stuff like that,
It hurts. Yeah. Believe me, I know.
And then I also run another page on Facebook. It's called Southern New Hampshire Emergency and Community Alerts.
Okay.
And been doing that for about 13 years now, and I have close to 48,000 followers.
Oh, wow. So you, about 13 years ago, is that when we had the ice storm?
Yeah, it was like right around that area.
Yeah, in October. Somebody else brought that up the other day. The ice storm and, having generators or something to that effect in power outages. And my gosh, we just had a power outage the other day at the Capitol. Yeah, I've never experienced that. So I'm down in the cafeteria, and all the lights went off. I mean, it was like, holy cow, what's going, your mind starts to race. And everybody's like, okay, all right, everything's good. And the Caterpillar generator comes on, some of the lights, but you don't know, is somebody bad out there doing something, or, but, and the power stayed out for maybe like 4 hours or so. But you get to questioning, but if something happens, people need a place to go and to communicate.
Yep.
When the power went out in that October, that was rough on a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was a friend of mine when I was working at the garage at the time at Goodyear, and one of the guys lived out by Londonderry, and he didn't have any power for almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I was like,
yeah, and even if you have it generated, that's still a lot.
yeah, because it has to run all the time.
Yeah. So, hopefully people can visit your page and get a little more information, and maybe you can talk to if you're watching the show and you want to come on and talk a little bit about it, maybe augment, or if you get another point of view of what's going on, anybody can come, including the mayor, anybody, any alderman, come in and talk about it, what's going on, so that you can let the people know. I know there are other venues, but this is here, and I'm here on Fridays, so I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for your service too.
Yeah, no problem.
Both to our country and as a firefighter.
Yep.
9/11 was a we all remember it.
Yep.
Let's hope it doesn't ever happen again.
Yeah.
So until next week, thanks for watching Gate City Chronicles, and hit the like button. Please share it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.